It has been a few years since I started my Invisalign journey. I tell people about it. I'm probably not as evangelistic as I once was, even though I still love it. I don't know, maybe I get bored of talking about it after a while. But Invisalign. So I have Invisalign here. These are, it's funny, they look not clean, but they are clean. It's just they get stained. They're stained now. Unfortunately, they do get stained. So what I would say about Invisalign, it has been a totally worthwhile investment. If you have the means and insurance or just the capital, whatever, it is a really good investment. I have not regretted it ever, at all. That I will say, it is a lifetime commitment, not financially, but the whole fact that every night you're supposed to put the retainers in your mouth. So there's two phases. I think I've gone over this before, but there's the correction phase and the retainment phase, or retaining phase. I don't know what they call that. Correction, sort of retaining. Let's go with that. And correction is just sort of where you're wearing a different set of teeth, different set of trays every week in your mouth, and it's so slowly putting things into the right place. That you spend, I don't know, I know someone's been doing it almost 2 years now, and I sort of think, I don't think that's supposed to take that long, but I'm not a doctor, I'm a dentist. But mine took about 6 months plus 4, so about 10 months, even though it was supposed to take just the 6. 6 didn't do it. So mine was longer. And after that phase is done, then it's just the kind of the retaining phase where you wear it every night. No longer 24/7, which is good, but you wear it every night when you go to bed. So that keeps the teeth from like falling back out, because otherwise they're going to go back to the way they were, which kind of sucks, but you just got to do it. I will say that, do I wear it every night after all this longer time? No, I did it first, but then a day goes by, and then another day goes by. I would say I do it 1 out of 3 now, and that seems to be worked just fine. I haven't noticed any sort of deviation, but you do notice if a few days you put it in and they're very tight, and it kind of concerns you. You just think, uh-oh, are they, as long as these things can fit, then, because this is like my last tray, so the retainer, I believe, was my last tray. But as long as they fit, then they'll go back to the final position. So that's good. I just would tell people, yeah, you got to be okay with that sort of lifetime commitment of wearing it, even though, for me, I'm not going to say it for other people, because maybe other people would lose their gains if they didn't do every night. But for me, it's been okay every, like, 3rd day. I mean, if I could, I would do it every night, but sometimes I forget or I don't feel like it. I will say, finally, one bit of advice is that when you do 24/7, you definitely get used to the teeth being in there, because it's in there 22 hours a day, 22 to 24 hours a day. But when you skip like 48 hours and you put it in, you can feel like vomiting. You just have that gag reflex of having just something in your mouth. At least I do. One way I got around it, I just put the bottom in and not the top for a little while until the bottom's really settled in, and then top. So I put the most important one. So if I do fall asleep and forget, because it might be when I'm watching TV late at night, I haven't done consuming any food or drink, and I've already brushed my teeth. But I picked the one that's most important, which I think is the bottom one. So that way, if I forget, at least I've got the most important thing in there. So anyway, that is Invisalign a couple years later. And I have totally, it's been an awesome investment. When I look at the teeth before, I thought, oh man, how did I live with that so long? I mean, it wasn't a massive problem, but it was not, look at pictures, and I mean, you couldn't see it for the most part. I'm rambling. Okay, that's it. Invisalign, highly worth it. You just gotta be ready for a lifetime commitment. Okay, a little more. The dentist I talked to said that when you do get older, your teeth do kind of set themselves in place. So, in fact, they recommend if you're going to do it early, when your teeth are more flexible, malleable. So maybe as you get older, you don't have to do it as much once they're fixed. So that's just something to think about too. But I wouldn't say you could ever just stop entirely. I think you would have problems if that happened. Okay, that is definitely it. Cheers.